Okay, so with this next video, this is what we are going to do. We've seen how to insert the records, how to insert tables. The next one that we are going to do is we are going to perform some calculations with some of the functions. Now look at what we have here. We have the salary here, and then we have 5% increment. So we need to increase the salary, all the salaries that you are seeing here, right? The salary, so 8,500 up to the 2,005. We are increasing it by 5%. So let's expand this side a little. So here, when we say we are increasing something by 5%, right? Increasing by 5% means you need to calculate 5% of the money and then you add it to the money. So we find that if it is 8,500 and we say increase the 8,500 by 5%, you first of all need to find 5% of 8,005, then you add it to the 8,005. So here you hit on your equal to under the 5% increment. Then you click on the cell, which is the salary. Let's keep on typing, or you can equally bring your cursor here. This is the formula bar, so this is where we type the formula. It will still work. So 5% to be the salary times 5/100, right? 5/100 plus. Then you click on the cell, which is 8,005 again. Then you hit on enter, and then it will tell you the 5% of the salary is 8,925. Now, one nice thing about the table is that the table performs the auto increment for you, right? The table performs the auto increment for you. So you realize that over here, after entering the answer for the first one, you didn't even waste your time to what? Autofill. That's the job of the table, and that's why people like using the table a lot. Now, after calculating for the 5%, the next thing I want to do is we want to calculate or find the full name. Now, if you look at what we have here, we only have first name and then we have the last name. So you need to combine the first name and then the last name to give you the full name, and that's what we call the concatenate. So to concatenate, first you need to hit on your equal to sign. When you hit on equal to, then you type concatenate like this. Then you open parenthesis. You click on the cell that contains the first name. You bring a comma like this. You bring double quotes. Double quotes means you shift and press the key, that is close the enter. Double quotes. Then hit space. Double quote again. You bring a comma. Then you click on the last name. That's the cell that contains the last. Then you close the parenthesis like this. The double quote space double quotes means that you are leaving a space between the last name and then the first name, because you cannot combine the two, right? Then hit enter. So immediately you hit enter, you will see all their names. It will combine and then give you what? Their full names like this, right? So you've combined first name and last name, and then you have what? Their full names. The last one is the age. Let's expand a little. Now, to get the age, there is a function that we use that we call Datediff, right? It's called the Datediff. Datediff means date difference. So equal to, then you type Datediff like this. Then you open parenthesis. When you open parenthesis, so when you hit on your equal to under the age, right, then you type Datediff. There's one F, Datediff like this. We open parenthesis, Then we click on the cell that contains the date of birth like this. Then we'll bring a comma. Then you type today. You open and close parenthesis. Now today simply means it should give you the current date. Then you bring comma, double quotes, you type Y, and then double quote, then you close the parenthesis. Now this is the meaning. So we want to find the date difference between the person's date of birth and then today's date, because if you are calculating your date of birth, you have to subtract from the current date, which is today. Today, that is 2022, right? And that is what we are doing. So find the date difference between the current date and then the date of birth, the person's date of birth, using the year. So the Y represents year, right? The Y represents year. So then I'll just hit enter like this. So when you hit enter, you realize that the date will run through for all of them. So someone who was born in 92, in 2022, the person should be 30 years. So you see it follows in that order, right? Now let's try one last thing, and then that will be all for the Excel. So here the next cell beside the age is going to be day of birth. So day, you alt and enter because we want you to come to the next line. So day of birth like this. So you can equally expand it a little. Now day of birth, for example, let's say your date of birth, right? Let's say with mine, let's say I was born 23rd December 1995. Now I want to know the day that I was born. If I was born on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, that's what I want to find out. So if I want to know that, then I need to use a function that we call text. So I'll hit equal to, and I'll type text like this. Then I'll open parenthesis. Then I'll click on the cell that contains the person's date of birth. So the first one. Then I'll bring comma. Then I'll open double quotes. Then I'll type D for 4 times, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then double quote again. Then I'll close the parenthesis. Then I'll hit enter like this. So look. So the D will have to be 4. It's text, date of birth. You click on date of birth, then the D will have to be 4. So look, we have Wednesday up to what? Friday. So if the person was born 1st January 1992, that day was a Wednesday, right? So this is how it is done, right? So that is all for the Excel. The next is going to be Microsoft Word.